Hello there guys, my name is MrYorkiesWorld, welcome back to the channel. Apologies for the slight delay in this video coming out, it's a little bit later than what I usually upload. I try to make videos every 3 to 4 days, and sometimes that schedule can get a little bit upset, but nevertheless, as you can see, we are on the ground here at beautiful Orbex Innsbruck with Transavia today, the 737-800. This flight is going to be taking us with Transavia 6602 from Innsbruck to Amsterdam. Now, apologies to a YouTuber by the name of The Flight Simmer. At the time of recording this video, I had no idea that he had literally only just done this flight. So, you've probably already seen this if you're a subscriber of his. If not, go ahead and check out his channel. His link will be in the description. We've got the parking brake set. We can go ahead and sort the fuel out. So the total fuel is 15,501 pounds of fuel today. It's going to be a nice short 1 hour and 24 minute flight approximately. Nothing too strenuous. Start the APU. 360 is going to be our cruise altitude for today. This is not the actual time this flight would have departed. This flight actually departed at 6:41 PM CET, but obviously that would be another night flight. We've done a few of those recently, so I decided to just change things up a little bit, especially with some beautiful Orbex Innsbruck scenery. I thought we might as well be able to see that in its full glory. So we can request clearance.
Transavia 6602 with 80 request clearance.
Transavia 6602. Clear to EHAM, the other P3D Juliet departure, and then as filed, climb and maintain 9,000. Expect flight
9,000 feet on the initial altitude.
And then after departure frequency 118.4, block 2.
Just going to close the doors for GSX. Catering is complete.
Cleared via KPT.
Get some boarding on the go.
9,000. Expect flight level 360 within 10 minutes after departure.
We are at Lima Oscar Whiskey India. We are at gate number 2, but it doesn't work for some reason. We're going to Echo Hotel Alpha Mike. And our departure runway is going to be runway 08. Flight number is TRA6602. Activate and execute. Perf init. Calculate all the zero fuel weight and everything. The reserves are going to be 1.06 today. Not sure about the cost index, we'll just put a random number in. 360 on the cruise. Transition altitude says 3,000, however, that is incorrect according to EFB, it says 10,000, so we're going to put 10,000 in. Not sure whether that's accurate or not, but it is for today. N1 limit, 24k D rate, flaps 5, centre of gravity. Let's just have a look at the departure. So we'll program that in now. So KPT5 Juliet. No discontinuities by the looks of it, that's all good. And we can input the winds. So let's just have a look. Having to use Active Sky for this, because for some reason EFB is not connecting to Active Sky. So 360 at 4. V2 is 144. Why won't LNAV or VNAV arm? Nevertheless, runway heading. In fact, I've got a funny feeling I know why LNAV and VNAV are not going to arm, because we've not set the position properly in the FMC. I'll do that in a second. Let's just set everything else up to begin with. We need to set the actual position in. I forgot to set the GPS position in the FMC, which we will do shortly. Clear the warning for now. Passengers are boarding. And we have the animated passengers here. GSX level 2. There we go with the captain and first officer, even though they already appear to be in the airplane, which is unusual. I don't suppose you can do anything about that. It's automatic sort of modelling in the aircraft. You can switch off the pilots in the PMDG options, but I just didn't get round to it. So that's the pilots. Cabin crew should be next. Look at that, what a beautiful aircraft. Apologies about this slight stutter there. There's the baggage truck. Here come the cabin crew. Loving the GSX animations. For some reason they do cause the sim to be very stuttery whenever the animations are happening, which is why when I'm panning around you can see that it is a little bit stuttery, but nevertheless there's not a great deal I can do about that. I'm going to put the fix information in for Amsterdam. So, 50, 100, and 150. Just for my own personal reference. Right, IRSs, yet they're already set to nav, so that's fine. I need to sort this out. Let me just... How do I get to it? So it's ident, is it? Position initialization, there we go. GPSL. There we go, things have come to life. Perfect. Right. Now LNAV and VNAV will arm, that's perfect. So, without further ado, there's the baggage coming onto the aircraft. Just waiting for some passengers, which I don't know where the bus has gone. I don't know what the hell's happening with him. He's just going to randomly reverse onto the grass. As you do. Don't you just love flight sim? While we're on the subject of flight sim, we now have 62, at the time of making this video, 62 people who have entered the November 2018 Flight Sim lottery to win the €50 SIMMARKET voucher. If you're unsure on how to enter, all of the details are in the description, and obviously because this is a live premiere, you can, of course, enter the draw as well through Super Chat if you wish. Just make sure you fill out that form that's in the description. You need to do that as well. Nevertheless, good luck to everybody who's in there, all the 62 entrants so far, but look at this. Some animated passengers. Finally got them working. They weren't working before, but now they are. You can tell it's not perfect, and it does cause this unusual stutter every now and then that you can probably tell. But apart from that, it looks absolutely brilliant. You notice a stutter there, that man just walking up. A little bit stuttery, something that they need to work on, but I'm sure they can iron any issues out that they need to iron out. But there we go, it's a new level of immersion at least. So anyways, I will catch up with you guys in just a few moments when we are ready for the next stage of our departure preparation. Okay, so we are literally closing the doors now, the passengers are finally aboard. Definitely took its time, it's a lot more realistic than what it used to be without those animations. We're going to do a straight pushback, and the reason for that is that we can't actually choose whether we need to go tail left or tail right for some bizarre reason.
Transavia 6602.
So we'll have to just stop and manually turn onto the taxiway. Just going to get ourselves configured.
Transavia
Wheel well light can come off.
Just waiting for some open traffic while Doug's position. Be pushing back in a couple of minutes. Parking brake.
We can disconnect ground connections, we don't need them anymore. Put this onto the takeoff page. The other one is on the legs page. Test the TCAS. Okay, it just said pass that time. I think that's because my mouse cursor was on my second screen, and just as it said TCAS test, I was off it, and then I came back onto it, and then it said passed. So we sort of missed out the rest of the sentence.
Clear, ready to push. Release parking brakes, please.
Parking brakes released.
Clear behind. Commencing push. Engines clear. Start at your discretion.
Engine number 2. looking for 25%. And there will do. Just looking out for that point we need to stop, which is coming up pretty soon, to be honest. Right, I think there will do it. We'll stop the pushback there. We can manually turn onto the taxiway. Let's just start engine 1.
Push now complete. Set parking brakes, please.
Set the parking brake. And about there will do. Absolutely amazing Orbex scenery.
Unlocking the gear. Tap disconnected and clear. Bypass pin is removed.
Right. Okay, so by the looks of it then, we should be pretty much prepared. So, we can just wait for engine number. There we go. Engines to continuous. We can transfer the APU power and then switch on the probe heats. I almost did that first then. There we go. Packs.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
APU bleed and the APU.
Away.
We can set flaps 5. And set the trim. You can see those flaps being extended. Wonderful view, absolutely lovely. Full left. Full right. And just as a quick check, full forward, full back, and rudder left and rudder right. There we go. All looking good. We can request permission to taxi.
Transavia 6602. Request taxi.
TRA6602. Taxi via Alpha to runway 08.
Via Alpha to runway 08. Transavia.
Right, okay.
6602.
Lights are on. Parking brake released. Little bit of power. We're going to do a hard right. Now, for those of you who know Innsbruck quite well, you'll know that we have to sort of backtrack the runway a little bit and turn around in order to line up. It's quite a unique takeoff sequence, to be perfectly honest. Look at that view. So yeah, it is very, very unique. We usually have to set the parking brake whilst we're actually firing up the engines a little bit. Select toga and then release the parking brake, because the runway, although it looks sort of average, it is quite short compared to some runways out there. And we need to be able to get as high as we possibly can, as soon as we can, because of those mountains. Absolutely stunning amount of detail. I've not had this installed for quite a while. I've only just reinstalled the Orbex Innsbruck scenery, to be honest. I'm slowly updating my add-on spreadsheet with some of the add-ons that I completely forgot that I even had. And I keep adding things in there and listing them all. So if anybody has any questions about my add-ons, check out the link in the description for the add-ons spreadsheet. Contains all my tools, my scenery, aircraft, things like that. I get a lot of questions about add-ons and stuff, so I created that for that very purpose.
120.1. Transavia 6602.
Absolutely stunning, stunning mountains. I haven't actually purchased any Orbex products to surround this area or Amsterdam at all. I've only really purchased the airports themselves, so at some point in the near future I will try to purchase something to widen the look of the scenery, make it look a bit better and more realistic, but I've got more important things to be worrying about.
Tower Transavia 6602. Holding short of
Called tower nice and early.
TRA6602. Line up runway 08.
Lining up runway
So we can line up,
08.
TA and RA,
6602.
landing lights on, taxi lights can stay on for a moment, strobes they can come on as well. Currently 12:36 Zulu. And here we go to backtrack the runway a little bit. Nice moon in the sky there, still visible. This time of year you always get that sort of thing happening. And as if it wasn't easy enough to identify the runway, there is 08 or 80 as it looks like from here. Obviously it's not. Nice and gently trying to apply just the right amount of power on the throttles. And here we go. See if we can make a mess of the lineup.
TRA6602. Wind 150 at 13. Runway 08 cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, parking brake set, start the clock,
Transavia 6602.
taxi lights off, spooling up the engines to 40%. And Tolga, release the parking brake. Airspeed alive. 60 knots. 80 knots. You can see why we need to take off the way we do. I mean, we're already almost at the end of the runway. V1. And rotate. A little bit of wind. Perfect. Positive rate. Gear up, following the flight director as best I can. Absolutely stunning. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful wing view.
Transavia 6602. With you passing 2,500 for 9,000.
TRA6602. Radar contact. Continued via the KPT-5 Juliet departure route.
Nice steep climb.
Via KPT 5 Juliet.
Lock the gear.
Climbing to
Auto brake
9,000.
off.
Transavia
Engines to normal.
6602.
Runway turn-offs can come off. Still trying to keep slightly higher than the flight director just to get us into that nice steep climb. At the same time as control the airspeed. Look at that. That is beautiful. Autopilot's in command. Altitude intervene. And we're going to turn right. All the way back on ourselves. We can go to flap 2 now. And flap 1.
climb to flight level 210.
210.
Flight level 210. Transavia 6602.
And we can go flaps up now. Absolutely magnificent, look at that. So flaps are up. Seatbelts to auto. And we're going to sort of go in a loop and come back on ourselves. Here we go with the beginning of that turn to the right. I nearly said left. Wonderful. So, as we take off from Innsbruck, let me quickly go over this 2018, November 2018 lottery. So the lottery is to win a €50 SIMMARKET voucher to spend on whatever you want to spend it on. You can donate £1 or $1, that'll get you 2 entries. £2 or $2 will get you 5, and £5 or $5 will get you 11. All the instructions are in the description. You can do it through streamlabs.com/MrYorkiesWorld, or you can indeed use the super chat feature as well if this is during the premiere that you're watching this. Again, there are 62 people that have currently entered. The winner is going to be chosen on the 29th of this month, and then on the 30th it will be announced in a video or in a live premiere on the channel. The idea has already got a huge amount of success and support and things like that, and I'm really glad to bring it to the community. Give something back for a change. Instead of everybody giving me views and comments and likes, it lets me give you something back. Look at that. Absolutely phenomenal. And I will one day have my own compilation by somebody, possibly even myself, of these look at that's by MrYorkiesWorld. But I have to say it, I really do. Absolutely gorgeous. Lovely sun up there as well. Again, all of the add-ons that make this possible are in the description. Wonderful. The sheer amount of detail is absolutely unreal.
TRA6602, turn right heading 290.
There's the airport, and we're already turning right, so that's perfectly fine.
6602.
Lovely view of the sun there. Nice little bit of lens flare as well. Little bit of pop in, but we can't really do much about that. So, without further ado, there's not really much else to do apart from show you some amazing cinematics on this short 1 hour and 24 minute flight over to Amsterdam. So I'll catch up with you guys in a bit. Okay guys, so we are currently in the descent stages now to 240. Been flying for quite a while. We're a little bit far away, but ATC has told us that we need to start our descent. So we've had to. So we're going to select our arrival. The arrival is going to be the Nork 2 Bravo arrival at runway 18 right, using the R-tip transition. So Nork 2 Bravo. There we go. No discontinuities, that's all good. This is going to be the arrival, pretty basic. 110.10 at 183. Elevation -13. We do have a speed warning there, but that makes no difference. That's perfectly fine. We can take control manually. Auto brake 2. We can take control manually of the speed and introduce some drag if we need to anyway. It's been pretty eventful. Lovely scenery on the way. One of the main reasons I love Innsbruck. I'm just hoping the performance over at Amsterdam will be fine. We're just going to set the minimums. Set the barrel. We're going to be using flaps 30 at 142 with a 5-knot wind correction. That's 147, which I'll put into the memory device. (147), there we go. That's our final approach speed. Oops, no, I do need level change. I don't know why I switched that off. Nice controlled descent, looking good. Wonderful scenery there. Or what you can see of it because of the clouds, but all adds to the effect, I suppose. And with that, I will catch up with you guys when we're ready to land. So, here we go, and as you can see, the scenery really is looking phenomenal. We're going to sort of go in a loop like we did on departure. And that's going to bring us onto the ILS, so that's perfectly fine. Look at that view. This is all FTX Global, just with some Amsterdam scenery. That's all it is. But combined with the effects, look at... Oops, we've got an aircraft down there. Hopefully they're not going to try and beat us to it. Hopefully we get there first. That is just phenomenal. Sorry, but it is. Speed's looking good. Just going to try and control it just so that it allows us to sort of bring some flaps out. So flaps 1, flaps 2. Down they come. Slowly. Like so. Little bit of texture pop in and stuff like that happening. It is quite a dense area, so I'm not surprised. We are coming... Look at that. We are coming right over the top of the airport in just a few moments. So expect some lag and sort of stutter and things like that. Just until it sorts itself out. We're literally going over the overhead of the airport. Or over the top of the airport, or however you want to say it. Cannot talk today for some reason. But there we go. Wonderful. And hopefully we will be able to get some nice replays of the landing as well. There's the airport. We are literally just about to fly over the top of it. And we should begin the right-hand turn very shortly. Here we go. scenery is phenomenal. So we've got flaps 2 still, which is perfectly fine. We don't really need to start slowing down any more than that until we're on final. We're at 220.
TRA6602, descent to 3,000 QNH101.
3,000 feet.
Descending to
We can of course use level change for that. Just increase the speed a little bit just to help with the rate of descent. We've got all the way up until 250 knots to play with because we're at flaps 2, so we're safe all the way up until 250 knots. There goes the localizer as we cross over it. Is this armed or is it... Oh no, no, yeah, I should have known it was armed because it said auto brake armed in green. Nevertheless, we've got everything sort of configured ready for landing. Nice and early. Bring back that speed just a little bit. And because we're in level change, it will automatically compensate with the rate of descent as well. Going to go flaps 5. Still perfectly safe. Standard. We can switch that to the Barrow now. Transition altitude. Not sure whether EFB is entirely correct when it comes to these transition altitudes and stuff, but nevertheless we should be okay. Not really going to make that much of a difference, I suppose. And here we come through some low level clouds as we pass 4,800 feet. We can go flaps 10. And we will of course go to flaps 15 once we are on final. Bring back that speed just a little bit. I'm going to go to 190 I think, or 195 or something like that. Try and keep it around that sort of, those margins. And here we go, final turn. Should be at 3,000 feet in perfect time by the looks of it. 195 on the speed, just to help with the pitch. Little lag spike there. Arm the localizer. We've set our flap 15 speed. I'm just going to go a little bit under that. In fact, we probably do need to start reducing a little bit more. Hopefully we contact tower at some point soon. Approach mode. Bringing back that speed. 2,000. Flaps 15. Gear down.
Tower Transavia 6602. On final, request landing. Runway 18 right.
Transavia 6602. Slow 2, final approach speed.
Final approach speed, so 147.
Clear to land, runway 18 right.
Final approach speed. QNH 1016. Clear to land.
Speed's coming back nicely.
Transavia
We can think about extending flaps 25. And we're below 175 now, so we can extend flaps 30. Like so. Perfect. Fully established. We're at the perfect altitude. We've got gear down with 3 greens, we've got auto brake 2, speed brakes armed. All the lights are configured and the engines and everything. Wonderful scenery, we've got an aircraft up there. And to top it all off, we're fully established on the ILS. Speed's perfect, or thereabouts. We've got a nice headwind. Hopefully we don't get blown around too much. Lovely bit of wing flex there. We will aim to disconnect at 1,000 feet as usual. I can't see any pappies, which is weird. So we might have to just focus on the flight director, but look at that. Yep, there doesn't appear to be any pappies available. Thousand feet, aircraft is now mine. Manual control. Getting blown around just a little bit, getting blown to the right by that 11 knot sort of headwind. Looking stable. Five hundred feet. Just pitching up a little bit.
Approaching minimum. Minimum.
Continue.
100.
A little bit wobbly, but we're looking sort of okay.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Oh, that was a left gear touchdown. Not too good, not too good. Not too bad either, but it was a left gear touchdown, something I try and avoid.
Transavia 6602.
Nevertheless, manual braking now.
Contact ground on 121.7.
Disarm the auto brake.
Decimal 7. Transavia 660.
We'll soon see when we look at those replays what sort of landing we were dealing with there. Far from perfect as ever. We can sort of stop at the threshold line here and see where we're at. I know the gate's going to be half a mile away, so probably have to skip that bit, but let's just try and stop in the right place. A little bit of acceleration.
1325. Request taxi. City 1325.
There we go, that'll do. Parking brake set. Switch off UT Live and we can go and have a look at some of those replays.
Don't too low. Terrain.
Okay, so that was indeed a left gear touchdown, but overall, I'm happy with it. It wasn't too bad. We can bring the flaps in. Look at that lovely sunshine as those flaps come up. I am happy with it overall. It wasn't as bad as what I thought it would be. But I just wish that it would have been a proper touchdown instead of a sort of a half gear touchdown or a one-sided touchdown. Let's just sort out UT Live again just for the immersion so we've got some real traffic around. Switch off the transponder even though we're going to need it back on because we're going to be crossing another runway shortly. Switch over the free... Oops, what? Why have I done that? No. It's this one I need to switch. There we go. Right, okay. Taxi to parking. Pro Pete's. Engines normal. Taxi lights. Landing lights. APU.
Via Victor, Zulu, Quebec, Alpha, Alpha 7, Alpha 8 to Terminal 1, Gate Delta 5, Transavia 6.
Gate Delta 5, right. Okay, it's going to be a pretty long taxi to that gate. We are all the way at the opposite side of the airport, which... Yeah, there we go. So anyway, Gate D. D5, there we go. We're not KLM, so I'll use the alternative. Little bit of cleanup, as much as we possibly can. Switch the course back to 360. Same with the heading. And of course we can do the same with the speed. Right. Parking brake released. Strobes to steady. So there we go. So it's going to be a pretty long taxi over to the gate. So what I will do is I'll catch up with you guys in just a few minutes when we're about ready. Okay, so GSX is asking us to cut the engines before we've even got there, and I don't think that this is where Transavia would usually park, because we're surrounded by KLMs, but nevertheless this is not the real world, so we're just going to pretend that those say Transavia on them. And there we go. GSX, I cannot cut the engines until we've actually parked up. You silly piece of software. Nice gentle approach. I don't even know what these... Oh, we've got one of those disappearing gates again by the looks of it. Disappearing jetways. Not sure why they keep disappearing, but... And I'm not sure why it's extended the way that it is either. Okay. I think GSX is broken. The fella on the ladder appears to be working though, although I can't see any of the numbers because the jetway's blocking it. I'm just going to sort of guess where the nose wheel needs to be. I don't know what any of these numbers mean. Can't see anything now. Hang on. There we go. So we've already taken out the jetway. I'm literally just going to stop it here. I've no idea. There we go. Parking brake set. Don't know what's going on. Cut the engines. APU power transferred. Ground connections we can connect. Welcome everybody to Amsterdam, despite the various issues that we've had. Let's just take a look at what we're dealing with. So, seatbelts.
KLM 1607, startup and pushback approved.
Request deboarding. Switch off the fuel pumps. Hydraulics. Window heats.
Ground City 1335, request taxi. City 1335.
The lights can come off, we might as well.
Alpha 2, Charlie Sierra Bravo Echo 1 to runway 24. Via Alpha 2, Charlie Sierra Bravo Echo 1 to runway 24.
Right.
City 1335.
Okay. Open some doors. Oh, no, I don't need that one open.
City 1887. Request taxi.
City 1887.
There we go, it's closing again now. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, apologies for the little bit of a mishap there, but welcome everybody to Amsterdam. Hope you enjoyed this very short 1 hour and 24-minute flight. Obviously it wouldn't have been that long for you, about 40 or 50 minutes on in a YouTube video, but nevertheless, thank you very much for watching guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. There's the disappearing jetway again. I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.